The Supreme Court is set to consider the fate of the Peace Cross that for nearly a century has stood in Prince George's County, Maryland, to memorialize fallen veterans. One America's Neil McCabe has more on this from Washington.
Attorney Jeremy Dice from the First Liberty Institute told One American News that the effort by atheists to tear down the so-called Peace Cross erected by the American Legion in 1925 was wrong because it would disrespect the sacrifice of veterans simply because it is a cross.
We shouldn't be bulldozing memorials just because they chose a shape to reflect the gravestones of those men who died in World War I.
The cross was erected by the American Legion, but in 1961, the state of Maryland took over the cross and the land surrounding its base as part of the expansion of the highway. The American Humanist Association is suing because the state's ownership of the cross is to them a government endorsement of religion. Dice, whose First Liberty Institute represents the American Legion, said the cross was erected at a time when soldiers killed overseas were buried overseas.
Back in 1919, some Gold Star mothers, women who had lost their sons in World War I, came up with the idea to memorialize them in Blaine,sburg, Maryland.
The mother of one of the 49 men remembered on the cross, William F. Redmond, the first Navy sailor killed in the First World War, wrote to her senator that she was unable to go to her son's grave in France, but this cross was like his grave to her.
It's a lovely place to even sit there and think about how important this sacrifice was. And then just across, less than a pitching wedge or a 9-iron across, you'll see all the other memorials there as well. It's a very historic area and one that is meant to remember all the men who died defending our freedom.
A Clinton-appointed federal judge ruled in 2015 against the group of atheists who had sued for the removal of the 40-foot cross. That ruling was overturned by the Fourth Circuit, which brings it to the Supreme Court for final resolution. Another issue at play in the Peace Cross case is the principle that even if a long-standing monument violates the Establishment Clause, the government should not tear it down if tearing it down could be interpreted as hostility or disrespect for a community. A principle that the High Court could expand to Civil War and other controversial monuments and statues. Neil W. McCabe, One American News, Washington.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.